So today's video is about a very special guest we have here in Saskatchewan. One that you wouldn't expect that would be here, especially at this time of the year, guys. That's right. The hummingbird is at the wildlife rehabilitation in Saskatoon, and they even named him. I'll tell you his name later, but it's a Costa hummingbird, that's right. You seen it in the thumbnail there, and I'll put a picture in right now how that bird looks. Yeah, so you're probably wondering, how did that hummingbird get up here, and what's he doing there in the winter? Because hummingbirds, you know, they do come up here to Canada and they migrate, but then they go back in August or September and they go back to their warm climates, like to Mexico or South America, Central America, places like that. But this is a very special hummingbird, because this hummingbird that's up here, which is called a Costa's hummingbird, is not native to here. Like, they don't come to Canada. As far north as they go is like the California area there, Yosemite or Yosemite, I don't know however you pronounce it, and the Sierra Nevada area there. That's where the hummingbird migrates to. That's the farthest point it goes. Then it goes down into Southern California and then Western Mexico for the winter. Also, why I'm doing this video today is because one of our birds is actually from the wildlife rescue in Saskatoon, Cherry. We adopted him from there. The director there that is looking after the hummingbird right now called us a few years ago and said, do we want a buddy for Peach? So that's why I'm doing this too, because it's special, that place. So I'll show you Cherry in a minute, but wanted to say, if you're new to the channel and you're wondering why all these birds are in captivity for, well, they're all rescued and 4 of them are imprinted on us. And you know, you cannot release those kind of birds that are imprinted. And we love them and we care for them, and they love us, because when a bird's imprinted on you, they're used to humans. And we do everything for them that we can. Anyways, I'll zoom in to show Cherry. There's Cherry right in the middle, or to the left. The director there at the Saskatoon Wildlife Rehabilitation in 2017 called us up and said, would you like a companion for Peach? Peach is another rescued bird. Actually, he went to the Saskatoon Wildlife too. We were going to release him at one point. We weren't intending to keep any birds, but he became imprinted, and I'll be honest with you, in those days I didn't even know what imprinted meant. But he got used to us so much that he didn't mingle with the other birds, so we brought him back home. But anyways, Cherry was rescued in another area, and he was brought to the wildlife because he had an injured wing and they didn't know what to do with the bird. So the director there thought of us, if we'd like an extra bird, like to be a companion for Peach. There's a magpie getting in the screen. But we said sure, because she said they would euthanize Cherry if we didn't take him, or someone like us, because they don't usually repair birds like this with that much damage and then they can't release them, so they have to euthanize them. So anyways, the video I'm doing, it's special because that's where Cherry came from, and Peach was even there. That's where that little hummingbird is right now. So the Costa's hummingbird is not native to this area, like I said. Like, what happened was in October of 2022, somebody seen it hanging out in their yard, and they thought, they knew it was a hummingbird, they didn't know what kind. And they thought, it's getting really cold, like, shouldn't hummingbirds already have migrated back south? So they were concerned, so they knew a big storm was coming, so they put a nesting and feeding area in their garage, and the bird went there. And a big snowstorm came the next day. You know, that's what you get here in Saskatchewan, in Canada. We get lots of snow and cold. Like, the bird isn't supposed to be here. But he didn't know what to do after that, because he thought, how long is the bird going to survive? Like, he just looked after it as long as he could. So then they contacted the wildlife rehabilitation in Saskatoon, and they picked him up and they have him there. So one of the volunteers that works there is familiar with hummingbirds and does banding and stuff. So they determined that it's a Costa's hummingbird, and it's not from this area. Like, it was really surprising that this bird was up here. They don't come here. So, and then they did some other researchers wanted to do an isotope test, and that's where they take some sample from the feather or something, and they can test the environmental conditions it's from and the food it eats. And they determined it's definitely a Costa's hummingbird, because it's eating and drinking a very special nectar from the Sierra Nevada region. Those flowers are out there, and they're not up here, that's for sure. So isn't that something, guys? That's amazing that bird was up here, and they determined where it's from and everything. So anyways, they figured they got to get the bird back to its natural habitat, because it's not going to survive up here that long, right? So they applied for an export permit from the government here so he could go back, the bird, and they denied it. That's very frustrating. Like, I don't know why they denied it, like the migratory rules or whatever. I don't know at all why that would happen, but because the bird doesn't migrate to Canada. But maybe they weren't educated enough in that, and they just think that the hummingbird will find its way back, release them in the spring but it was too late to fly back. So they're looking after the bird now, and they know where it's from, and they're going to try again for that permit, and then get him back to California region there, and then he can migrate back and forth to Mexico, and that's where his food is, and maybe his family's in that area. But also, leave a comment below. How do you think he got up to Canada? How would it be? I don't think he flew here. I'm guessing, this is just my guess, I'm just speculating. Maybe he came in a fruit truck, right? Like, imagine those trucks like in California, they're full of juicy fruit in them, and how they would smell, right? The smell of fruit, like stacked in a truck. Maybe he flew in there, he was attracted to the scent. Then they shut the doors and then drove up to Canada. Now, I'm just speculating. Anything's possible, I guess. But what do you guys think? So these birds we have here are all native to Canada. Magpies actually don't migrate. They stay year-round. And crows, they do migrate from this area. They go somewhere in the United States. Maybe Oklahoma, Texas, Nebraska, Kansas, I don't know, one of those regions. And some areas, like the crows where you live, they don't leave, right? They stay year-round. But like I said, these are all rescued birds. And like I said, we wanted to release Peach in the beginning. Our intention was to release him. We actually took him to the wildlife. I'll put the link below to the video. You watch that. You'll see he was out there. And then when we picked up Cherry, that video will be below too, to the wildlife rehab there. You can see that where Cherry came from, where that hummingbird is. And actually, we do get hummingbirds up here in Canada and northern Saskatchewan. Mainly we get the ruby-throated ones. Google that and take a look. Like, they got like a red throat like the males. They're really colorful. And the females are more plain. But they come up here, I don't know, middle of May, and then right in the beginning of September they're gone. They're all gone. But you know, they have a huge journey. Even those hummingbirds, they go far south to Mexico and Central America. So they have a long flight back. But yeah, we do get hummingbirds. In the future here in the spring, I'll do a video. I'll show you the hummingbirds that come here. You can see them feeding it. We have a hummingbird feeder in the back. We have 2 of them, actually. So we'll do some filming and we'll show you the hummingbirds that come up here. But the Costa hummingbird, he would never be up here. If he's up here, somebody brought him and dropped him off, you know. That's what I'm thinking about that truck. So guys, I'll end the video here. I just wanted to do it. It's very special when I heard about that, because that's where Cherry's from. Cherry was from where that little Costa hummingbird is being looked after right now. There's wonderful people working there. They love animals and do the best for them. So hopefully, like they named him Yosemite Sam, actually, or Yosemite Sam, you know, that cartoon character. They named the Costa hummingbird that name because that's the area that he's from. So I'll try to update in the spring if they do any more. Maybe they won't. Like, it depends what they do and if they can get him sent back down to the States. I hope so. So thanks for watching, and check those links out, guys. See you in the next one. Give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. See you.